He was carried in Kapil Dev's arms. He became man of the match on his second appearance for the Indian team, and of course he's one of the rising young stars of Indian cricket. And if you haven't guessed who I'm talking about, don't worry, he happens to be my guest. His name is Yuvraj Singh. Welcome to the program. Now I gather becoming a cricketer wasn't so much your ambition as your father's dream for you.
Yes, of course. I was too much into tennis and too much into skating. I used to love skating. And once I remember winning the gold medal, working hard for it. I'm coming back home with a medal, and I showed my dad, I won a gold medal. And he just gave me a very bad look, and he just threw my skates away. And that was he said, from now it's only going to be cricket.
In fact, he said something else. He said to you, I'll break your legs if you keep skiing.
Yeah, he said that I'm going to break your legs. This is a girl's game, and you can't afford to play this. You got to play cricket from now on.
He was in fact himself a test cricketer. Is it true that in fact he's looking to you to fulfill his own ambitions in a sense?
Yes, of course, because my father, as everybody used to say, that he worked really hard along with Kapil Dev. And they used to praise him that, he really used to bowl fast. And working so hard, not doing so well, I mean, whatever happened. And whenever I started playing cricket, he always had the belief that my son is going to play for India. Even in my younger days, I didn't have the belief that I'm going to play for the country. But he said that, no, you're going to do it for me.
Your mother says that in fact your cricket story begins almost from the day you were born. She says you virtually taught yourself to walk with a cricket bat.
Well, actually, I was too young. I don't actually remember. But she says that, I used to walk around with a cricket bat, which was longer than me, taller than me.
And in fact, she taught you some very special words to say as the first you ever spoke. Do you remember them?
Yeah, I used to say that मैं बड़ा होकर Indian cricket team का captain बनूंगा.
So in a sense, both your parents were determining from the word go that you were going to be a cricketer.
Yes, because the family, everybody, because my mom played basketball, father played cricket, so
sports was in the family.
Sports was it was in my parents' blood, so everybody wanted me to do something in sports.
Now, as I said in the introduction, Kapil Dev was a close friend of your father's.
Yes, of course.
And he often carried you on his shoulder. What was it like sitting there?
Yeah, I was carried around by dad's friends, Sakar, Kapil Dev, and I used to listen to their strategies against other teams.
So you...
I don't really remember.
Now, your father's dream for you, as you said, was that you should be a cricketer. Do you remember the incredible facilities he created at home?
Yeah, I remember when I started playing cricket, we had a lawn behind our house, and he just took out the grass and put cement on that, and
created a cricket pitch.
Yeah, created a cricket pitch, about like 17 yards, and then we had a net all over the fence, and he put up a gymnasium in the house on the top floor, and
just for you.
Yeah, just for me.
So you had your personal gym when you were barely 10?
Barely 13, yeah, I would say. So it was like, everything was just cricket all the time.
And he also gave you a special bowling machine with special plastic balls.
Yes, of course, he's done a lot for me. Yeah.
He left no stone unturned.
No stone unturned.
And then side by side with all the facilities he gave you, he really pushed you hard, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I remember practicing under him, going in the nets and getting out. He used to come with me with a wicket in his hand and say, "I'm going to break your legs if you're not going to play properly." So it was quite a lot of incidents happening.
He says that occasionally in winter when it was cold, you hated going to practice in the morning.
Yeah, because in my place in Chandigarh, it gets really cold in the winters, and you don't want to get up and just go for practice. And once one happened when I was sleeping, and he told me to get up, and I refused to get up. He took a bucket of cold water and threw it on my quilt.
In the middle of winter?
In the middle of winter, 7 o'clock in the morning, when it was like about 2 degrees, 5 degrees, and I was like, I just got up in a shock, and I was shaking and ran into the shower, had a hot shower, and I was like, what is this life? I can't deal with this. And he told me to go to training, and he knew that I was in a very bad mood, and but he refused to be nice to me, and I walked out of the house, and I went to the park where I used to jog, but I refused that I'm not going to train today because my father has really behaved badly with me. And I was sitting there for like 10 minutes, and he was behind me on a cycle.
He came to check on you?
He came to check on me and said, it's time to run. And that left me with no choice, just to run.
In fact, he was really a hard taskmaster because sometimes he'd even lose his temper. I gather there was an occasion he threw a glass at you.
Yeah, it was very bad. I got dropped from the Punjab team, and I was not getting selected for Punjab. And we played a match against Punjab, like the B side of Punjab, and I played in it. And I played a very bad shot, and I got out. And everybody told him that he played a very bad shot. And I was not allowed to enter the house that day. And he was fighting with my mother, and my mother was crying, and she told me that not to come home today. And I remember that night sleeping in my own car.
Because you weren't welcome home.
Yeah, I wasn't welcome home. And next day morning, I got back. Mom said, Dad's gone, and you can come back home. So I came back home. I was about to leave for my practice, but he came. And he was very angry. He said he was really furious, and my mom got him a glass of milk. And he was so angry that he threw the glass at me, and I just missed it, and at my back the window broke. Yeah.
Sometimes, of course, your dad pushed you so hard it became almost counterproductive, didn't it? At the age of 12, he took you on a Sunday for bowling practice, and he made you do so much practice, you ended up with a back injury.
Yeah, because he always wanted me to practice 6 to 8 hours a day, and that was one of the days when I just couldn't take it.
Is that when you switched from wanting to be a bowler to a batsman?
No, actually, it aggravated from there. I used to bowl, but I had a weak back, so I broke it, and then I decided to switch to batting.
How much of the success that you enjoy today goes back to those really hard, almost cruel days when he would push and push and push you?
See, what I want to say is that you don't realize that when you're doing this work, I mean, when I was young, I used to say that I can't deal with this, but now getting so much of success and playing India at a very young age, and thinking back in time that this is doing all this and staying away from a normal life has given me so much. So
today you're grateful?
Very grateful to
Even
him.
if at the time you got very angry with him?
Yeah, of course.
He was also always very protective of you, wasn't he? There was a time when you were filming with him on a Punjabi film set and you almost had an accident and he went ballistic.
Yeah, we were shooting in Panipat, and I was supposed to run with the train. I was giving a shot, and what happened was somebody tripped me off and my head went in between the train.
So you could have been killed?
I could have been killed, and somebody just took me out, and somebody said, somebody told him at the shoot that, your son got almost killed. And he took everybody apart, and he
took the set apart?
Yeah, he was furious. He told producer, director, if something would have happened to my kid, I would have killed you all. And it took like 2 days to calm him down. And next time when I did that shot, he was running along with me on the side.
During that period, you often say that the person who was your comfort and your confidant was your mother. You say she was the closest person in your life.
Yeah, she has been the closest person because so much she sacrificed my life. I mean, if I want to pay back, I can never pay back in about 100 years.
You feel a real debt to your mother?
Yes, I'm very close to her. Everything I do, whatever I do, however I perform, I do everything for her. Because she has given me so much, I can never think of giving her back.
She says, however, with a twinkle in her eye, that my son is very competitive. He hates losing to anyone.
Yes, I have been taught this since my younger days, that you play, you train, you do everything to win. You do everything to conquer in life.
There was a time when your cousin Ankur Mongia beat you at table tennis and you wouldn't forgive him.
Yeah, my cousin Brad, he was very good in table tennis, and I used to play, and he used to beat me like 5-6 down, and I used to get really furious about this. But I remember doing a camp sometime, and I used to play table tennis every day. And after coming from the camp, he couldn't win after that, so that was the day.
You were determined that you were going to get your
revenge. I was
revenge.
determined that I'm going to get my revenge, and I'm going to beat him the way he beaten me.
And then your mother says there was a time when you bumped into Chamanda Vas in Chandigarh, and you went straight up to him and you started taunting him.
No, it wasn't that bad. I was with my Nana ji and just went to pick up something, and I saw Chaminda was walking. He was like looking very cool and all with his glasses and all. And one thought just came to my mind that, one day I'm going to play, I'm going to try and whack you.
And you said that to him?
I didn't say that to him, he just walked, I just had a thought in my mind.
Your mum says you said to him, "Tere ko to main ek din bahut peetunga."
Actually, I said that to my Nana ji, that when I play with the country, then I'm going to whack him.
Do you like challenges? Do you respond to them?
Yes, I love challenges because I think that is the thing which you've come to do in life. That is the thing which you want to conquer. And going into a challenge is something big, and doing well in it gives you a lot of satisfaction.
So when the going gets tough, Yuvraj gets going?
Yuvraj gets going.
If it's just too easy, you don't feel inspired?
Yeah, if things are happening with you and everything is going with you, there's no challenge in life. There has to be things against you to do well. There has to be some motivation for you to do well in life.
And that's true of cricket.
That is, yeah.
The best comes out when the team's in a little bit of trouble and they know they need you.
Yeah, because I've done really well in such kind of situations. Because whenever there's a difficult situation for the Indian team, I say that I talk to myself and tell myself that you have done really well in all these situations, and I like that situation. And I really want to conquer that situation so that I can come up and be a true champion for my country.
Yuvraj, let's take a break. I want to come back in part 2 and talk about exactly those situations when you've had to come back and conquer for the country. We'll be back in a moment's time. Don't go away. Welcome back. My guest is India's star batsman Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj, let's talk about your cricket. For someone who has had such an incredible career, I gather your Ranji debut was a total disaster.
Of course, it was. I was 15 or 16, and I played in my hometown, and I got out for 0. And I did some misfields in that match, and I was rated as a bad fielder, and they said that he's too young, so let him play under 19, under 16, and got runs. Next year under 16, got runs 19. After 2.5, 3 years, I got another chance to play Ranji Trophy. And I got on 0 again.
But things changed dramatically in 1999 in the Kuch Behar Trophy when you thrashed Behar almost single-handedly.
Yes, before that I had 100 in the Ranji Trophy as well. And I went with a lot of confidence in 19, got 100 as well. And I remember Behar making 357. That was the highest score any team got against Punjab in that tournament. And there was statements that pressure on Punjab and stuff. And I remember getting 358 by myself and taking my team to victory.
There was an amazing headline in the papers the next morning. It said, "Yuvraj today, Maharaj tomorrow." Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do remember it. Yeah, it was...
But your coach says that on the way to 358, you were complaining to him and saying, "Listen, you're trying to kill me."
Yeah, because when I got to 350, he said, you got to get to 400. So I said, "Kya sir, ab bacche ki jaan loge aap." And that was it.
Now, you mentioned a moment ago your first century for Ranji, which happened, in fact, a year earlier. Your dad gave you an incredible present, didn't he?
Yeah, I called him up and said, "Dad, I've got 100." And he was so happy, and he knew it because it came in the papers. And
he gave you a Honda City?
Yeah, he said, "Your gift is ready when you come back home." And that was it.
In 2000, at the ICC knockout in Kenya, you made your debut. It was that second match with Australia when everything came together. How do you remember it today?
My greatest memories, because I remember coming for that game, and I was a young kid, and playing his first match was against Australia because I didn't get to bat against Kenya. And
so this, in fact, was your first time batting for India, even though it was your second match.
Yeah, it was my second match, and I remember Brett Lee bowling a bouncer to Saurav Ganguly, and I was batting, and I would put my elbow guard. I wasn't even going batting the next, and I just thought that this is something else. But what I told myself is that the way I got here, I'm just gonna play my normal game. So I just played like my normal game.
Were there any moments when you were nervous or when you were full of self-doubt?
I was never a self-doubt because my father's always told me that the harder you work, you know that you work so hard and you're confident about yourself. Didn't have any doubt about myself, and I knew that I have it in me, and I'm gonna do it.
You ended up as man of the match. To be man of the match on your second appearance must be quite a heady experience.
It was a dream come true. I mean, that day I got the man of the match, and everybody was praising me, and everything's changed. And tomorrow, paper said something, and I went back in the evening and saw myself in the mirror. And I was saying, "Is that you?"
What was the answer?
Yeah, he said, "That's you." Yeah.
How did you break the news to your dad? I mean, he must have heard it on TV first, but when you spoke to him...
Yeah, I mean, he was actually in tears. My parents spoke to both of them, they were in tears.
You could hear the tears on the phone?
Yeah, I could just make out how happy they were, and it got me into tears as well.
So the whole family cried together?
Cried together, of course.
Because this was, in a sense, the moment that your father had worked for all that time.
Yes, of course.
In a sense, this was vindication for him.
Yes, yes.
Something he couldn't do, his son had done. The amazing thing is that your critics say that you went on to become arrogant, that you became snooty, and that's why you got dropped in 2001.
No, it wasn't that. When you don't perform on the field, too many things come together. Someone says something, someone says something. So it was just my bad performance, and people started to accept my performance, other things. So I wouldn't say I was arrogant, but I think it was a phase in my life which I learned quite a lot.
Do you regret the fact that people misinterpreted you? Did you give them opportunity to do so?
I won't regret it because today you can't change people.
So you just have to accept it.
You just got to accept it because they have a very particular mindset about everything. So I mean you can't just change everyone.
So in a sense, what you're saying is the guys who criticized you were determined not to like you, and you couldn't have won with them anyway.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm not really bothered about what they say and what idea do have. What I've always thought that okay, I don't want to bother about this. I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna work hard and get back into the team.
You said of that period 2001, which in a sense was a bad year for you, that it made you tougher and it made you stronger.
Yeah, it made me. I was very depressed, and and nothing was going right for me, and I was just sitting one day and told myself that everything is happening because you had a good time, now you're having a bad time. So how did you play for the country? I mean, what was your approach to getting on top? And I just got back into my left. I mean, I just dropped everything around me and just got on with the same approach.
You got back into the team in January 2002, and it was actually quite a spectacular return against Zimbabwe. You scored 80 of 60 balls. How much did that mean to you?
No, actually, before that I got dropped. I got selected again for Sri Lanka. South Africa player, got dropped again, and then came back. And before that game, I got a double 100 in the Dilip Trophy first class game, and that was it. I played, got the man of the match, and I think got India through the series.
Your dad says that him getting back into the team and cementing his place meant everything. He says that if he hadn't done it, I would have committed suicide.
Yeah, I won't blame him for saying that because he's worked so hard on me, and if all his effort went into win, it'll be of no use to me, to the family. And I made sure that I'm going to come back and do well, and
not only do well, you did incredibly well. People say your best innings, maybe not the highest score, but your best innings was the 50 against Pakistan at the World Cup.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure because India, Pakistan, of course, the whole world is watching a World Cup game. If you lose, what's the consequences going to be like. And I remember Sachin getting out to a really sharp bouncer from Shoaib. And I just thought myself, you're just going in for your country, and you've done well. Back yourself and just do your best.
They say off the field, Yuvraj is a very different person to the intense guy on the cricket pitch. Does the smile mean yes?
Yeah, you gotta be different. You can't just be like concentrating, and you just gotta be loose.
Your cousin Ankur says that he's the greatest mimic in the world, and he imitates dinosaurs.
Yeah, I do all sorts of things, and imitating everyone in the dressing room, imitating animals, and yeah, just a fun-loving person.
So in the dressing room, the big tease is Yuvraj.
Most of the times.
And does the team take a joke well?
Yeah, they all joke around. I mean, everybody's like that in the team.
So how does one imitate a dinosaur? I mean, they died 65 million years ago.
It's just the way they move their neck. It's for that.
Today, of course, you're a major celebrity. Everything that you do is written about, talked about, and some of the things you don't do is speculated about. Does the attention irritate you, or are you beginning to enjoy it?
It used to irritate me in the beginning. I used to think that no, I can't go out and just gotta play cricket. But when you play cricket, but you have a personal life as well. And now it doesn't really bother me, because as long as I'm giving 100% on the field, as long as I'm doing well for my country and making my whole country proud, I don't need to think about anything else.
But what happens when the spotlight gets turned on your personal life? Do you resent it?
I don't resent it, because as I told you, people are going to write what they're going to write, so you can't change anyone. But I'm just saying that as long as I'm doing well for my country, I don't care what.
So in other words, one of the penalties of being a celebrity cricketer is that the world is going to want to know more and more about you.
You can put it